Good evening, everyone. Good to be back again. It's Africans in Diaspora Online Network, and happy celebration to all the Muslim faithfuls. Where it's been, this is going to be a very short video. All right. I saw our President Buhari was saying that this was the best and the first election ever had in Nigeria. Well, that's a big question for us to answer. Was it free and fair, the elections? Well, was it really free and fair with what happened around the country? I say not around the country. It was in Lagos State that people were terrorized, who were being threatened not to go out, or was it in Rivers State that Wike was using his full force, to intimidate voters? Everywhere in Nigeria, the election was not free and fair. I mean, it was really, we know from the observers, both international observers and with the record we saw, it was not free and fair. But he said it was free and fair. Well, I guess maybe he wants to leave a good legacy, but the legacy we saw in the election, I mean, what happened in the election was a bad legacy. Maybe he's trying to make amend now with the Adamawa elections. I heard he said the REC in Adamawa he approved the suspension, and the guy should be, and there should be investigation. Why are they trying to use Adamawa as scapegoat? It was all around the country. So I mean, the guy copied from his boss. That is the truth. He copied from his boss. So the NH chairman should be made accountable for what he did to the elections, not only just Adamawa. So it was flawed all around the country. It was really flawed. So I don't know why they are just using Adamawa now. So I believe and I hope that the right thing will be done. He wants to leave a good legacy, but the election was so flawed. So it was so flawed. Was it in Lagos that people, tankers came out and we are doing so many things, threatening people to come out and vote? I mean, it was so glaring. It was so glaring. There are reports, and it's there for all to see. It's there for all to see. Anyway, this is going to be just a short video. Or I have to say, we all need to wake up. Nigeria is so big, and we are still. Peter Obi has said all the obedience they should be patient, and we are waiting for the outcome for what the court what they're going to decide. That's what I'm waiting for. So that is it. So I'm waiting for what they're going to decide. So let's pray we have a good result. But anyway, as it is, that is Nigeria for you. But we know that the mandate, the people's voice must be heard, and it will be heard. That is the truth. The people's voice must be heard, and it will be heard. Nobody can stop it. Nobody can stop it. Nobody can stop it. The people's voice must be heard and to be heard. So we are waiting for the court to see what they're going to do, and peacefully we are good. People are going to. I know that people are going to make protests. That is for sure. So, but all said and gone, that is how it is. So, I would just play a video I saw on RS TV, and it's just a video. I just want to share some things, okay? And I want you to watch it, and please, as you watch, I would like you to make comments. I would like you to kindly follow our page, and also to subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's important to do that. Before the election, my own is good governance. That's what I've been preaching. Good governance, good people. People have credibility. People with integrity. People that can build out the country from what it is right now. The country is really, 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 man, it's really, really in the shape that one cannot really imagine how we can really go out of it. So much debt, and they're still borrowing. The government that is living in the next 40 days. In the next 40 days, yeah, they are still borrowing. Well, that is how it is. That is how it is. But we just hope that the incoming government will do the right thing. That's why we all wanted, or we all voted for Peter Obi, because we believe he can do it. We believe he can do it. But anyway, that's not just why I'm here. So as I said before, happy celebrations to all the Muslim faithfuls. Okay, just watch this. Okay, as I watch this one, and I'll just come back for a few minutes and I'll call it a day. Please, as you watch, kindly make comments and share. Okay, like and share. God bless you.
Atiku Abubakar, in his Salah message, asked Muslims to join efforts towards building a more united Nigeria in light of the recent unfortunate bitter divisions caused by national politics. Well, Atiku added that he is worried about how the outcome of the presidential election has deeply divided Nigeria. I mean, Dr. Abati, well, first of all, I'd like to congratulate our viewers. I'd like our Muslim viewers. Happy Eid. Yesterday, we took a story of Lai Mohammed, who also talked about the fact that the 2023 election was, free and fair, was peaceful, and, the least violent in Nigeria. And here we can hear President Muhammadu Buhari re-echoing his thoughts as well. I mean, like you said yesterday, a lot of people would disagree with him, but, I often wonder why this is the time to, talk about, events like that. But also Atiku Abubakar, we've heard that, we've not heard from Atiku Abubakar in a long time. And it's refreshing to hear from him and, celebrating Muslims in the way that he did. But I think he made a valid point. The elections have divided Nigerians really quickly.
Well, two perspectives on the elections, depending on what side you're on. And when I heard or read his statement, that's Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, I thought perhaps he kept quiet due to Ramadan season. So now that the Ramadan, holy month of Ramadan, where they were fasting, so he kept his peace. And now that Ramadan is over, he now feels all right, or feels the need to speak out on the elections, and just to coincide with that. This is not the first time the president is saying that this was a free, fair, and credible election, was peaceful, and all the nice things about what an election should look like. However, the obvious, the evidence before us says the contrary. And Alhaji Atiku Abubakar puts it best in terms of saying that it was divisive. It was very divisive, and we've seen the outplay of it on social media. We've seen more divisions along ethnic and religious lines with regards to how people have come out, individuals being affected, businesses. In fact, people are saying that they would not hire people who are not from their particular ethnic group. That's how divided we are currently. It would be great to understand the metric by which the president has judged these elections, to give such a judgment as to how free and fair, or to laud it as being a great cycle. A number of CSOs beg to differ, a number of international observers beg to differ, a number of analysts beg to differ, and a number of Nigerian citizens beg to differ.
All right. Well, in the meantime, Nigeria's president-elect Bola Tinubu on Thursday announced a 13-member presidential inauguration committee ahead of his inauguration on May 29th. The committee will plan a week-long inauguration event that will usher in Tinubu and his vice president-elect Kashim Shettima as the president and vice president of Nigeria. Well, first on the list is Bayo Ononuga, a spokesman for the Tinubu Shettima Presidential Campaign Council. He will serve as head of media and publicity. Also on the list is APC's Deputy National Chairman, Senator Abubakar Kyari, who will coordinate and direct the committee's finance and budget, while Colonel Abdulaziz Yaradua, the younger brother of the late President Umaru Musa Yaradua, made the list. He was nominated as a head of security and ceremonial parade. I mean, ceremonial parade, I did see.
You can imagine Bayo Onanuga being in the team. Bayo that is promoting ethnic crisis, is promoting ethnic bigotry, is promoting xenophobia. I don't really understand. Well, anyway, he was selected and he has been given the certificate of return, which he can always return. So I don't have anything about that. I still believe that the court will do justice to what the injustice have been done to the Nigerian people. Nigerian people, they have spoken. This man, this bio, that is. What surprises me, the guy, when his own speeches, when you watch it, when you look at him, the guy would. Let's listen to Rufai.
So that's the madness going on Twitter there. But that should not deter people. And what is
I wanted us to watch to listen to Rufai first, but anyway, I think I will. Anyway, Bayo was in Rwanda. He condemned, when he got there, he condemned what happened, what he saw there, the ethnic crisis that happened there. Now, is the guy in Nigeria is promoting. I mean, if you read his tweets, it's so annoying. You wonder, how did this man change? Is it because of politics? Is it because of political power? It's so annoying. It's so annoying. But if he's promoting his hatred amongst the Yorubas, the Igbos, especially the Yorubas and the Igbos. And I pray because maybe I written petition against him that the US, the EU is not allowed him to travel with family. Well, I don't know if that will hold. But all the same, it's just damn too bad. It's just damn too bad. So let's listen to them with the analysis, okay? Let's listen to them and the analysis also. Yeah.
Atiku Abubakar puts it best in terms of saying that it was divisive. It was very divisive, and we've seen the outplay of it on social media. We've seen more divisions along ethnic and religious lines with regards to how people have come out, individuals being affected, businesses. In fact, people are saying that they would not hire people who are not from their particular ethnic group. That's how divided we are currently. It would be great to understand the metric by which the president has judged these elections, to give such a judgment as to how free and fair, or to laud it as being a great cycle. A number of CSOs beg to differ, a number of international observers beg to differ, a number of analysts beg to differ, and a number of Nigerian citizens beg to differ.
All right. Well, in the meantime, Nigeria's president-elect Bola Tinubu on Thursday announced a 13-member presidential inauguration committee ahead of his inauguration on May 29th. The committee will plan a week-long inauguration event that will usher in Tinubu and his vice president-elect Kashim Shettima as the president and vice president of Nigeria. Well, first on the list is Bayo Onanuga, a spokesman for the Tinubu Shettima Presidential Campaign Council. He will serve as head of media and publicity. Also on the list is APC's Deputy National Chairman, Senator Abubakar Kyari, who will coordinate and direct the committee's finance and budget, while Colonel Abdulaziz Yaradua, the younger brother of the late President Umaru Musa Yaradua, made the list. He was nominated as a head of security and ceremonial parade. I mean, ceremonial parade, I did see. I don't know, Rufai, you weren't here when, that video was circulating on social media where, the military were preparing for the inauguration, but also a lot of comments have been raised with the people that were picked as members. I don't know what your thoughts are. People talked about Bayo Onanuga as well. I mean, it's just an inauguration committee.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have problems with anybody picking the inauguration committee. It is the APC's inauguration committee. Definitely, Baron Onuga has done a lot of work for them as regards, publicity. But I have a lot of problem with most of his very ethnic and vile comments, which is not befitting of a veteran of the struggles in this country. And that's why a lot of people have asked, what changed with Mr. Baron Onuga, with the kind of words he has said over the years, and now the things he's saying now because of politics. Also, other people on the list, yes, he has a spread, a cross-section. I've got nothing with that. Nature abhors a vacuum, there's going to be a transition team and all of that, yes. But please, for the love of mercy, I'd like to comment on a story Ayo commented on. Let us see the truth always in this country. The truth will make you free. I'm seeing this attempt to push an agenda that this election was free and fair. It was anything short of it. Is this an election where a state broadcaster sponsored an electoral coup with Binani reading a public address of an election that has not been completed, and today MBC has not fined them? Is that a free and fair election? An election where only Jennifer's crime in Surulere was because she wanted to vote and she was stabbed in the face, but she still votes with blood dripping? With all the people killed and maimed, hurt in Lagos? With all the people killed all over the country? With the videos of people saying election free and fair, with the discrepancy between the IRF result and what is seen on ground? Wasn't it Premium Times that carried the story about Obiakpon in River State? Because I've seen this attempt, and this attempt started after the Western media first flawed our elections and said it's flawed election. So there's a backtrack. Some people even traveled abroad. I'm not saying don't go and put your narrative forward, but tell the truth, because posterity will judge all of us in this country if we don't speak up. And the problem with Nigeria is that we've not been speaking up over the years and not saying things the way they are.
That is the truth, man.
I think it's CDD or one of this civil society group that said 109 people died 3 months leading up to the election. The wanton destruction of lives and property, the fact that people were baited along ethnic line, town criers came out in Lagos on election morning saying don't come out to vote. We cannot see all of this and act like it never happened. And the holy month of Ramadan is a month of healing for a lot of us. So please, I would like to ask you, in this month of denial of fasting, what did you learn about the love of God? What did you learn about the love of God for you and for further human beings? Did the love of God, did it trump the love for humanity? Because you say you practice what you preach, but you did anything just to be able to get power. But you forget that you will leave this earth somewhere, and everything you acquire, you won't take it anywhere with you.
Those are pertinent questions. Dr. Abati, your thoughts on both stories?
Okay, first, look, the whole point about whether the election was free, fair, and credible. We have seen various reports by various observers, local, regional, and international, and there have been, observations made about how there were irregularities in that election. We've seen newspaper editorials telling the whole world how that was a flawed election that produced the outcome, but with the caveat that Nigeria could even organize elections and do so successfully raises hope about the future of democracy in Africa, given Nigeria's strategic importance. I'm just trying to do a quick summary of what others have said. But it is also, at the same time, as some people have argued, perhaps the most controversial election in recent Nigerian history. And that is why there are already over 400 cases before the tribunals at various levels. That is why even INEC is saying that he's looking for 3 billion for lawyers' fees. Because INEC is joined in almost every of the cases. In fact, lawyers are even saying 3 billion is not enough after we have spent so much money on the same election. That is why even in the presidential election, people are in court.
Yes.
Okay? So, and the presidential election petition tribunal, people are even saying, why has that tribunal not started sitting up to now? So there are issues. There are persons who have grievances, but you can understand where the president is coming from. If the president says, oh, it was free, it was great, and that in fact, he as president even lost in his own state. Yeah. And that's evidence that, He was not trying to influence anything. Don't forget that the president had promised before and even after the election that he wants to leave a legacy of a successful electoral process. But history will determine whether, President Buhari can add the elections conducted under his watch as part of his legacy. What is clear is that already people are already saying, look, we still have to do a lot in terms of reforms. As for the greetings to the Muslim Ummah, well, I join you also in saying Eid Mubarak. The one thing that we should note is that the general elections in 2023 coincided with two major religious events: Lent with Christians, Ramadan with Muslims. And this is a very religious country where you find a church or a mosque at every street corner. And yet, during the month of Lent, and yet, during the month of Ramadan, people were snatching ballot boxes. People were rigging. Electoral officials were misbehaving. We witnessed the most recent, the most brazen hoodooism in Adamawa State, where a resident electoral commissioner knowingly, willfully violated the law and usurped the functions of a returning officer. And yet these are the same people. Some of them have been to Jerusalem, some of them have gone to Mecca. They go for Umrah at every time, but they don't behave like true Christians. They don't behave like true Muslims. So one of the major challenges we face in this country is this gap between what I call private morality and public morality. Everybody is very religious, going to mosque, going to church. When it comes to conduct in the public space, the most pious people are the most, problematic in terms of conduct. And that's part of the problem we have in this country.
Well said, Dr. Abati. We'll take another story. Social media influencer Chude Nnamdi, who has been accused of intentionally sending a message via his Twitter handle for the purpose of causing annoyance, inconvenience, and danger to the person of renowned businessman Dr. Emeka Offor, and thereby committing cyber stalking, which is punishable under Section 24 of the Cyber Act of 2015, on Thursday, was granted bail by the Federal High Court in Abuja in the sum of 10 million naira. Well, according to reports, the Inspector General of Police, Usman Alkali Baba, was the prosecutor in the case. Well, on March 18th, Nnamdi was arrested by the police in Anambra State and taken to Abuja. His arrest elicited criticism on social media, with some Twitter users claiming that he was apprehended over an alleged petition written by the governor of Anambra State, Professor Charles Chukwuma Soludo. Well, this is coming as another influencer and popular investigative journalist, David Hundeyin, raised the alarm that the blocking of his Twitter account was linked to his recent post on the dual citizenship against Nigeria's president-elect, Bola Tinubu. Hundeyin, in a television interview on Tuesday, claimed that indeed the president-elect does have dual citizenship and that he lied under oath when he filed his INEC EC9 form, a crime referred to as perjury and punishable by the laws of Nigeria. Rufai, I'm coming to you because you are very, prominent on Twitter. I always see you tweet. But, I don't know what your thoughts are on Hundeyin's story and the reason why they locked his account, because obviously he's talking about the fact that the person who he posted the personal details is a public, officer and should, and it's of public interest. And also your thoughts on Chude's arrest, which we mentioned, I believe, a couple of weeks ago when he was arrested in Anambra State and taken to Abuja.
So a couple of weeks ago, Chude was arrested. We talked about it. He was released, made a public apology, but apparently the people that are involved in
as I was saying, all the obedient, we should all be patient. Especially wait for the outcome of the courts, and we know the truth must prevail. The lie may I know may that's for a while, but at the end of the day, the truth will always prevail. That is how it is. It will always prevail. Nigeria, it is set time we take our country back. It's set time we make things happen. It's set time the rule of law prevails. It's set time all this old wagon all these old politicians, we have to retire all of them. Now is the time. And the youth, they came out, the people, they came out to do just that. But they think they can override the will of the people. Well, anyway, we will see. And we will see. So we are patient people, we are peace-loving people. We want the best for our country. That is why we are doing what we are doing, preaching what we are preaching. You know. So I won't stay long, as I said before. It's just a short live video. Please kindly share, like, and make comments, please. And again, right now I think I'm about 3-4 channels right now. My Twitter is on also, so please kindly follow our YouTube channel also, and we'll make it happen. All right, we'll make it happen. So that is it for now, for today. But I will just wait for them to round up with their own from the Arise TV. I mean, from what I'm playing, for the video I'm playing. I know it just for within a few minutes, okay. But all they say, that is not what that is not the main reason why I just came. But as Barry has said, that this election was free and fair. Well, it's just too bad, but we know that it was never free and fair. It was the election so far, maybe compared to it. I wasn't the 2 elections, 2 or the 3 elections. For me, this is the worst ever. Just the worst ever, man. The worst ever. And I wonder what will happen in 2027. That's why we are praying. We want to make sure we take our country back from all these so-called politicians. I mean, they feel they are so powerful. They feel they own the world. They feel nobody can do them anything. Man, the way they do things, God help. But we will definitely take our country back. That's what we are praying for. We want to take our country back, and we'll take it back, and we'll take it back. We'll take it back. Nothing stopping us, and no one can stop us. No one can stop us. So I will call it a day for now. Okay, and see you guys soon again. Let me play this video. Just watch the video.
Absolutely.
Was there
Okay.
Tinubu has more than one passport?
Absolutely.
Did he not fill it up? They should say.
What's up there? Okay.
Something.
Yes, we've been waiting.
We've been waiting, and the silence is so cold.
All right, bro. All right, then. I need you guys
Really
right now.
quickly, we only have a minute.
Let me just say, just to respond to a
The thing is breaking up.
few things that had been mentioned. Number one is that, so with Festus Keyamo, perhaps the reason why is that if you obtain permission from the person, you can't post personal details. So that's probably why they didn't come really hard on them. Then this is what happens when, like you mentioned, Rufai, it's not like SpaceX as just a business. It's now a media platform, and perhaps doesn't understand how powerful what he has is. Well, he does. He probably does. But what I'm trying to say is that when media is driven mainly by profit, it becomes compromised. And that's what we see. And it would be such a shame. And I believe that would be the beginning of the end of Twitter.
Absolutely. I agree with you, Ayo.
Well, on Elon Musk is a businessman. He bought Twitter with over $40 billion, right? And he says he wants to generate revenue. And that the former managers of Twitter, they were not running it as a business. And he wants to run it as a business. If he says you pay for verification mark, you are not forced to pay for verification mark, okay? And there are persons who have said they will not pay. Hence the controversy with the New York Times and with some other bodies. So we have to realize that this is business. As for David Hundeyin, the defense that he's putting up is that, well, this is temporary suspension. It's not that it's been fully blocked or suspended.
No, it's been lifted.
And that he will come back, because he will make his own presentation. And the defense that he has given is a certain principle about public figures. that once you are a public figure, you are very limited claim to privacy.
Exactly.
The principle in law is called volenti non fit injuria. If you don't like it, don't go near the kitchen.
Yes.
Okay, so it's good to hear that, that's suspension.
All right, guys, I'm going to leave it like that for now. Please kindly subscribe to YouTube channel, follow our page. Please like and comment. Okay, so that's it for now. I will call it a day. Thank you so much for watching. God bless you. God bless Nigeria. We hope for a better Nigeria. That's our prayer. Those in diaspora, Nigeria will be great again, and everybody, Nigeria will be great again. I so much believe that. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. God bless you all. Good night.